Here.
Director Hobson?
Here.
Director Lewis?
Here.
Director Cotel?
Here.
Director McAllis?
Here.
Director Melvin?
Here.
Director Pang?
Here.
Director Ross?
Here.
Director Troiani? Chairman Dillard?
Here.
We have a quorum of 15 present with 1 absent.
Thank you. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, if we may. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, moving right through this agenda. Item 3A is the approval of the minutes from our October 19th, 2017 meeting. Any comments or any questions on those? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Director DeWitt moves, seconded by Director J.D. Ross, that we approve these minutes. Madam Secretary, why don't you take a roll call so we have a baseline roll call if we need one. Take the roll. On the minutes, approval of the minutes.
Director Anderson?
Yes.
Director Colson? Yes. Director DeWitt? Yes. Director Durrani?
Yes.
Director Fraga? Aye. Director Fuentes?
Yes.
Director Higgins?
Yes.
Director Hobson?
Yes.
Director Cotel?
Aye.
Director Lewis?
Yes.
Director McAllis? Aye. Director Melvin?
Yes.
Director Pang?
Yes.
Director Ross? Yes. Chairman Dillard?
Yes.
15 ayes and 1 absent.
Super, thank you, and it will be so reported that they are approved. Item 4 is the public comment section of the meeting. We don't have any speakers scheduled for today, so we'll go on to item 5, which is Leanne Redden's Executive Director's Report.
I noticed that actually we might have some board members needing to leave, and I just wondered if we wanted to do the action items first,
Sure.
and then we can come back and do my ED report, and
Absolutely.
then if we wanted to do that. That's just a suggestion.
Great, and we'll just we'll Greg and we'll just make Greg wait just a little bit more. Back there, I see him. Item 7 is the approval of a consent item as it appears on the board agenda, and it's 7A, and it's the resolution certifying the financial results for the third quarter of 2017. B, you have anything to add that hasn't been added?
No,
We're
Mr. Chairman.
budgeted out already this morning. Any questions or comments on these? If not, Director McAllis, our financial wizard, moves that we adopt these financial results for the third quarter of 2017, seconded by Director Christopher Melvin. Is there leave for the attendance roll call on this? Seeing no objection.
15 ayes and 1 absent.
Super. Leave is granted. Item 8 is the approval of contract and expenditure items as they appear on the board agenda. These include travel expenses and also allowing Director Troiani and his committee and myself to continue to finalize Executive Director Leanne Redden's continuing employment as our Executive Director. Any discussion, questions on that? Doug's been working on it. Yes.
I just want to say on the expense reports for the chairman, I mean, it sure gives you a handle on just how many meetings he attends.
Microphone, please.
And he ought to be congratulated.
Thank you. It's just it eats up it's a labor of love. Let's just put it that way. That's what I tell my wife, who says, "How much time does that job take?" A lot, but it is a labor of love, and I'm honored to do it. But thank you, Ike, very much. Can I have a motion on 8A and 8B? Director Michael Lewis moves we approve, seconded by Director Patrick Durrani. Is there a leave for the attendance roll call on this? Seeing no objection, leave
15
is
ayes and 1 absent.
granted, and Leanne and I both thank you. Now we can go back to Leanne's report.
Actually, and I just got told that Greg is on a timeline,
Yeah,
so
let's
if we
do
can
Greg.
let Greg go first, and then I
Yep.
can just close out by giving you a quick overview of some other stuff that's been
Thank
going
you,
on.
Greg. It's always a pleasure to have Greg and his beautiful companion with him at our meetings. And it's very pertinent, having had discussions on ADA paratransit and some of the issues that Greg and his folks
Ruben.
are so considerate. Welcome again. So this is an update on the activities of the RTA Transit Access Citizens Advisory Board. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good morning or afternoon at the moment, but good morning, Director, Chairman Diller, directors, staff of RTA, and the public. I'm here to report out on our October meeting of the Transit Access Citizens Advisory Board. We had 3 major presentations, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about those. And the first one is going to be pretty redundant because it was a presentation by Doug Anderson of the Budget Office, and he told us about many of the things that you all heard over and over today about lower gas prices, sales taxes, online shopping, etc., has had an impact on revenue for public transit here in the metropolitan area. And he did, so he talked about all the things that you guys discussed today. He also encouraged the members to attend the public hearings, and I also had asked them to attend the public hearings to give any input that they possibly had in relationship to, upcoming budgets. The next item that we discussed was by Michael Horsting. He talked about the 1018 community planning projects. And it was a very interesting discussion. We all learned a lot from this. And we found out that RTA is in the forefront of this type of planning, and that it also has a great impact locally on transit development. In May, there were projects submitted to RTA. There were 14 of them, and 9 were accepted to move transit development forward in several communities. The last item that we discussed was given to us by Ms. Rosen. She discussed the RTA mobility outreach project and program, and she introduced the 26 individuals who are involved in this program throughout the region. And what they do is they work with older adults and people with disabilities, educating them on the transit system. They also discuss with them Ventra accounts, how to get one, how to use other options as far as transportation, and they also teach them how to do They also discuss with them how to use online routing. One of the things that was very interesting about her presentation, there were a couple members of the advisory board that actually went to these outreach sessions or involved themselves in going through the training process. And as a result of finding out how accessible fixed route transit is, several of them no longer use paratransit, they use the fixed route system. And that is one of the major purposes of this, is to put less stress on the ADA paratransit system. So that concludes my report. Our next meeting of our committee is in January 16th. 2018, which is the last day of my vacation, but I will dutifully be there. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your dedication and help. Any questions? If not, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
And thank you. And thank you, Leanne, for letting me go ahead.
Good.
No worries.
Make a paycheck.
I'm here still, so I'm stuck.
I love it. Thank you, Leanne. It's all yours for your report.
Okay, so I know I'm between here and the door, so we'll try to go through. I'll cut out as much as I can. But as I always say, begin where we always begin. Through the end of October, the state owes the RTA $447.2 million. And that is a combination of the ASA, the AFA, and the Public Transportation Fund payments. The state is 16 months behind in the ASA and the AFA funding, and that's about the equivalent of about 9 months. And they're also behind in about 9 months of PTF payments. The year-to-date cost of carrying that short-term debt is $4.4 million. So just a minor note that we are a budget that actually has this kind of short-term borrowing in our budget annually, unfortunately, but that's the nature of the game we have to play now. Quickly on the state, the Illinois General Assembly concluded its fall veto session. There was no action taken on the governor's mandatory veto to House Bill 3004, which was our RTA short-term borrowing extension. There was a rider put on that bill, language put on that bill. The governor vetoed it. It was brought before the House, but there were not sufficient votes to actually override that veto. Just to note, our short-term borrowing authorization does actually sunset in 2018, but we plan to reintroduce that bill in the spring legislative session next year. Also in Springfield, sort of stuff that has been sort of talked around a little bit today too. November 6th and 7th, we participated in a series. It was me, Jeremy, and Claire Seduc on Jeremy's staff, participated in a series of meetings with legislators in conjunction with the Transportation for Illinois Coalition, speaking to the very real issue of lack of capital funding, need for alternative revenue sources. One thing that we're going to do is continue over the next few months to participate in what we're calling kind of working group seminars. We've identified key kind of leaders of state legislators who we think are leaders potentially in this transportation space, helping educate them better and hopefully actually having them also work with us and to become advocates within their ranks to actually try to advance this broader capital conversation. So we'll continue to do that as well. The legislature in Springfield won't be back until January. On the federal front, I won't go through all of this. People see all of this in the media. Obviously, they're focused mostly on tax reform right now. Federal spending, though, sort of as a backdrop to some of this, it's getting lost in some of the noise. Federal spending expires December 8. Congressional leadership has indicated that they plan to pass another short-term continuing resolution that would fund the government through January or February. Some Democrats have stated they won't vote in favor of the CR unless a deal comes together on immigration reform for the DREAMer piece of that. And typically, Democratic votes are going to be needed to probably pass that kind of funding legislation. So even though it's not directly related to us, the DREAMer Act discussions are playing potentially a role here. If that doesn't all come together, there could be a government shutdown in early December, as Jeremy and I head to DC today, so I'm sure this will all be part of the topic of conversation. The RTA, though, did weigh in on some of the tax reform stuff over the past couple of weeks with our congressional delegation, both formally and informally. We were hopeful that the tax riders would actually take advantage of this reform law to try to address the sustainability of the Highway Trust Fund, but that did not come to fruition. So it's still on the agenda. For those of you who don't know, Highway Trust Fund essentially runs out of money. I think it's 2020? Yeah. And so it's not a sustainable thing, and we'll literally fall off a cliff. But more to come on that. Other priorities, though, in the tax reform agenda included our support for the continuation of tax-exempt treatment of municipal and private activity bonds, which impacts us and many of our municipal partners. We're also looking to preserve the employer business deduction for the transportation fringe benefit. The chairman was talking earlier a little bit about the transit benefit programs, and then the advanced refunding of bonds. So even though it's not transportation specifically, there is impact to us. I just wanted to take a moment against all the sort of backdrop of, cuts and challenges both at the DC and Springfield levels, we are continuing to look ahead and proactively look ahead. After 2 years of research, close collaboration with CTA, Metro, and PACE, and outreach to our vast network of stakeholders across the region and the public, the Invest in Transit, the 2018-2023 Transit Strategic Plan its draft is now complete and available for public review and comments. You have it at your place. I want to thank all of you specifically, too, for your participation in the 2 workshops we did, and then some of you have also, we've had some other discussions on some of these topics. Both of those really yielded a lot of field feedback to us, some of our public stakeholder outreaches as well, in terms of the vision, the policies, the goals, and the strategies that are reflected in this draft plan. In addition to the main plan, you'll see an accompanying document called Invest in Transit. We love our subtitles, Priority Projects. I just want to highlight the fact that this is a big accomplishment, I think, for us as a region to actually now come out with a complement piece that actually clearly articulates what the region's priorities were. I was testifying yesterday to DuPage County in front of their county board, and one of the first questions I got, if you got $1 billion, what would you spend it on? And it's nice now that we have a published draft at this point, but hopefully final in January, where we can point to legislators and say, if we get this money, this is what we're spending it on, and we're committing to that. I think that also helps with the public discourse in that space. The plan outlines and describes unfunded capital projects of all 3 service boards. It's also available on our website for review and public comment. The plan will be presented is currently being presented at our 8 public hearings that are happening as we sort of speak now across the region. Comments will be accepted through December 31st. And then we plan to bring it back to you in a final version for board consideration and adoption in January 2018. I hope that you can take some time to actually take a look at it. We will also be available, myself, Jill Leary, and any other planning staff to do a deeper dive if you wish. I think it's a well-written document, and I think it is very helpful for you in terms of your broader conversations and your networks in sort of helping understand how we want to position ourselves going forward. And the fact that our next big thing is this capital and investment into that infrastructure. So we will be reaching out to you to chat a little bit more, touch base, but feel free to reach out to us in the interim as well. As you know, it's budget season, no surprise today. We're hosting the public hearings around the region. Like I said, we began actually yesterday in DuPage County. There's one being held here tonight. And then there's a series around the rest of the region. So I want to just highlight, too, that we have also publicized these through our press release, blogs, and our social media. We have also created dedicated landing pages on our website that includes a video that explains the budget process and essentially the presentation, because we know to some extent traditional public hearings are becoming a little kind of obsolete, challenging in people's lifestyles to actually get to, and so we want to give people other opportunities to come and provide us comments. So if people cannot attend the public hearings, they can email their comments and concerns to communications@rtachicago.org. In addition to the public hearings, B and I make the rounds to all the county boards and make a presentation to all of the county boards on the regional consolidated rolled up budgets. Each of the service boards have gone and presented to their respective appropriate audiences as well. So I want to thank the board members who are joining us at those meetings. We appreciate your help and your support and your commitment across the region. And then two quick final things. The GFOA has once again awarded the RTA the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting to the RTA for its Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, or the CAFO as we call it, for year-end 2016. This marks the 23rd consecutive year. It really is a great achievement for our staff, and I want to just take a moment to thank the staff that put a lot of time and effort into doing this. It is the highest recognition that they can receive in public reporting, and I think it's a testimony to the commitment and the dedication of the staff that do that. And finally, sort of under the heading of sharing our stories, I just do want to highlight the chairman is speaking at City Club tomorrow. I know several of you are actually joining the RTA group to hear his words and insights. But before we wrap up today, I just wanted to highlight and share, well, I'll actually show you these if you haven't seen them, 2 videos that we put together for your enjoyment, and I think they are kind of fun. The first one's funnier than the second one. But we do try to sort of break through the clutter and the noise and find different creative ways to sort of tell the story and what the importance of all this. And some of this is very consistent with a lot of the themes and topics we were talking about today. Halloween, we had a little bit of fun with our blonde witch. It wasn't me. It's another blonde witch here. Sorry. But the theme was, wouldn't it be scary if there was no public transportation? And we actually got some really good hits even across the country on this, and so we'll show that. And then the second one was more of a thankful, what are we thankful for and why are we grateful for the public transportation system? Again, just to kind of highlight the recognition of those. And are we having technical difficulties? I'll stop. You can tee it up. They're more interesting than me. And so we've also shared those the links to these videos through our blog and our other social media sites. So with that, I will let them hit play, and I'll be quiet.
Do we click or?
No, he's got the specialty little clicker. Oh, I got to hit play?
No.
Oh, page down and hit play.
No. No, don't touch it. Just click. Use the mouse. Yeah.
I don't have a mouse.
Oh.
Oh, click on the video is what
Yeah.
you're telling me to do.
Yes.
Hi. I'm a little slow on the uptake.
Guess how many rides we provide? Do you know how many people ride the public transportation system every day?
I would say way too many.
Some thousand amount that I have no idea.
Oh, it's a lot of
2 million rides a day.
2 million? I can't believe.
Can you imagine if all those people were back in their cars?
That'd be terrible. Roads would be gridlocked.
Guess how many lanes we'd have to add to our highways? Guess how many lanes we'd have to add to our highways if there was no metro?
About 4.
27 lanes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm from Cuba. I live in Florida.
Tell me, do they have a lot of public transportation in Florida?
Yeah, but it's not really good. Here, it's very easy to go to far place.
Do you think our public transportation system is important?
It's extremely important.
A lot of people don't have cars, so it's convenient for a lot of people.
The buses and the metro make the city work.
Guess how much it costs to run our system a year? Do you have any idea?
Wow, that I do not know.
$3 billion. And a variety of factors, part of which are state cuts, are going to cut us $100 million next year.
That sounds really bad for me.
Wow.
Do you think it would be scary if there were no public transportation system?
Well, I couldn't get to work.
That would be really scary.
Very scary.
We need the system. You have a great system.
Yeah, it's scary. We have to get some horses around here.
It would be very scary if we didn't have a public transportation system. What can you do? When you get the chance, tell your elected officials how important this funding is. Follow us on the RTA blog and social media. This is your system. Use it. It would be a nightmare if we lose it.
We couldn't have scripted some of that better if we tried. Okay, and then the fine. Oh, come back. Thanksgiving. Here at the RTA, we are grateful for a world-class public transportation system provided by CTA, Metra, and PACE. But more importantly, we're grateful to you, the riders, who take more than 2 million rides each workday. So I've asked a few of my friends to share why they are grateful for transit.
We are so thankful for the public transportation that delivers hundreds of thousands of visitors each year to the front doors of both Lincoln and Garfield Park Conservatory.
We at McCormick Square are thankful for the great Green Line station 2 blocks west of our campus and for the new improved metro station located right in the heart of McCormick Place.
Ravinia is thankful for public transportation because it's environmentally safe, it's great for reducing traffic, and most important, brings wonderful audiences to hear all of our great concerts every summer.
Innovative, sustainable transit protects the environment and grows the economy. And I'm proud of the leading role Chicago plays in advancing these efforts.
I'm thankful
congestion, especially here in downtown Chicago.
I'm thankful for our transit system because it connects our people, businesses, and neighborhoods across Chicago and the region.
PACE has been a great partner in making sure that associates from all across the South Chicago area has a very easy way to take public transportation directly from their home to the front door of our fulfillment center.
I'm thankful for the vital role that public transit plays in making Illinois the transportation hub of North America.
I'm so thankful for our transit system. I'm a daily transit rider, and so I know just how critical this is to our economy. It makes Chicago the world-class city that it is.
On behalf of the Chicago Blackhawks, we thank our fans who use public transportation to come to Blackhawks games at the United Center.
I am thankful for public transportation because it's critical to the independence of people with disabilities in the Chicago region.
By day, I'm a transit advocate. The rest of the time, I'm a transit groupie. Whether it's with my friends, my kids, I'm always encouraging them to get on board to ballet, theater, restaurants, all the wonderful places that our region has to offer. On behalf of the 2 million riders, thank you.
Thank you to all our partners who understand the importance of our regional transportation system. The RTA is thankful for you. Even more so, we're grateful for all the riders who ride our system daily. We wish you and your families a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
So thanks to the communications team who conceived those ideas in short order and actually executed, I think, some really great little clips that we got some good mileage out of. So the kudos goes to them. We'll get on that.
And I want everyone to know that the Black Hawk that was featured in there 2 nights ago had a hat trick. A hat trick, which is unbelievable. 3 goals in 1 game. So Susan, you picked a really good Black Hawk, and we're good luck to him. So, anything else, Leanne?
No, that's the end of my report. Thank you.
All right. Everybody, thank you for a very long but very important morning session. And on behalf of the 2 million people that do take the RTA every day, that's 1/6 of Illinois. 1/6 of Illinois, in terms of numbers, rides the RTA system on a weekday basis. I thank you, and we are adjourned.
Wait, we need a motion and a second.
This isn't good enough?
And also to remind everyone that our next meeting will be back on Thursday, December 14th.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Director Friga moves that we adjourn, seconded by Director Ryan Higgins. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thanks again, everybody.